Human history is filled with challenges, but some eras were so brutal they felt like a living hell. Today, on Global Legacy, we're diving deep into one of the darkest periods in ancient human history, an era where survival was a constant battle and life was short, painful, and harsh. The ancient world wasn't like the civilizations we know today. There were no modern medicines, no technologies to make life easier, and no safety nets. Instead, people were at the mercy of nature, disease, and violence. Let's start by looking at one of the most brutal eras in human history, the Paleolithic and Neolithic periods. For most of humanity's existence, we lived as hunters and gatherers, constantly moving, struggling to find enough food just to survive. Imagine a life where every meal was uncertain. Food wasn't just available at the store. Humans had to hunt wild animals and gather plants. And that's assuming they survived the extreme weather and unpredictable natural disasters. Predators like saber-toothed cats, wolves, and massive bears were not just a threat to our ancestors, they were constant threats. If you weren't careful, you could easily become someone else's dinner. But survival wasn't just about fighting off wild animals. It was also about fighting invisible enemies, diseases. With no understanding of germs or medicine, ancient humans had no defenses against illnesses that could wipe out entire tribes in a matter of weeks. Even a simple injury could lead to death. Without antibiotics or proper sanitation, infections were often fatal. A broken bone, a deep cut, or a bite from a wild animal could easily lead to gangrene and death. And then, there was the constant threat of violence. Ancient humans often lived in tribes, and tribal warfare was common. A raid or battle could decimate an entire family or village, and revenge was often a driving force in these brutal conflicts. The weapons were primitive, but the violence was real. These early humans fought for territory, resources, and survival. And in these harsh conditions, there was little room for weakness or mercy. And when people died, their burial rites were often rudimentary, reflecting the harshness of the times. Life expectancy was low, and many didn't make it past childhood. The real question is, why did humanity not only survive, but thrive in such an unforgiving world? The answer is simple: resilience. Despite all the odds, ancient humans adapted, evolved, and created the foundations for the world we live in today. The Paleolithic and Neolithic periods were, without a doubt, living hells for humans. But it's this struggle, this fight for survival, that shaped us into who we are. It made us stronger, smarter, and more resourceful. And that legacy is the story of our rise. Thanks for watching this episode of Global Legacy. If you found this video insightful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share it with others who are fascinated by our ancient past. Leave a comment below to tell us what ancient era you'd like to learn more about next. Until then, remember, history isn't just about the past. It's the foundation of who we are. Global Legacy, where the past shapes the future.